Guys, even when we lose, we need you to like, comment, and subscribe. Really subscribe. Those numbers are going on up. It is TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti. I'm going to go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center where we have Jared. Jared, tell me the voice of the student fan. Like, us olds, how we feel. We kind of just been mopey all morning. Coffee wasn't as good. There was more traffic on my way to work. Everything, I hit my foot on the door. Like, how's the mood of the students?
It's a little demoralizing. I think it's been extra tough for me because I was trying to convince people about how great we were going to be this season just after coming back from last season. I think generally just student population is a little bit just disappointed, kind of the same old inconsistency. So
yeah, same old for you has been like 2 years. Same old for me has been 40. But that being said, we did the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan. OB always bringing his analysis and his hot sports takes. Damontre Moore with his observations as well. Got to want it, guys. Got to want it. And Tom Hart of the SEC Network, he covered the Mississippi State game, but also kept his eye on the A&M game, had some thoughts about that. And Billy Liucci, the headliner, should have started with him. He gave us 2 hours of greatness right there, or analysis. The greatness will come. It's TexAgs Rewind. Check it out. By the way, the offense in the first half, and Billy brought up this point, so I do agree with him, but the offense in the first half was not good. They did have the short side of the field a couple times, which kind of puts you, those numbers are a little bit not in context because
they didn't have to go far.
Right. But still, the offense wasn't very good. You give them credit for special teams plays, for getting the ball close and moving the sticks. Sure. The offense, though, and I will give Bobby Petrino this, they made some adjustments at the half. Mm-hmm. They got the ball out of Connor's hands quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And
they got field goals. Here, two. I mean, there's so many plays to be upset about, but from the offensive side, here's 2 plays that I can't get over. All right, A&M's up 7-0 and they're driving, had a good drive, but they're looking at 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 at the 5 or 6 yard line,
right,
or 10-yard line or whatever. Evan Stewart had a remarkable game. His stats were great. But you have got to understand, I think this is what Jimbo Fisher wants his guys to understand when it talks about playing winning football. So he's crossing. He catches the ball 3 yards downfield. He needs 5 for the first down. And there's probably no one within, would you say, 5 yards of him? Mm-hmm. Now, they're converging. But what you do there is you don't play soft. You need a first down. And what you do is you take that ball and you cut up field and get those 2 yards and get your first down, and then you go score a touchdown. He dances. He tries to avoid somebody because he keeps going lateral instead of turning upfield, and he gets stopped for a 3-yard gain. A&M kicks a field goal. Then they're is the first time they have the ball in the second half. They get down to close to what are they on the 1 yard line?
Yep.
And they got a 4th and 1, but they're going to go for it. And Trey Zoon jumps.
The tackling was definitely one of the things. You can't go in there arm tackling and throwing shoulders and bows and stuff like that. You got to get there and have that fundamental, which I expected some of this. It's early in the season. We're just not getting started. Obviously, you have training camp, but live bullets are flying. We're not going to make excuses and say, hey, that this is okay, because it's not. We hold ourselves to a different standard, and we didn't see record-proof football. And so with that being said, I don't know what it is, if we got to go in there and do some extra tackling drills, or somebody got to get chewed out, or if somebody just got to wake up one day and just look in the mirror and say, hey, man, I put my pants on one leg at a time just like the other guy, and enough is enough. If I was them, me being a Fighting Texas Aggie, it's been the same thing year in and year out these last few years. We have the talent. We have the youth. We have all of these different things of why we should win, but we can't put it together. I would be frustrated. I'd be like, man, I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing the media talking about it. I'm tired of seeing it on film when I go in there, because at the end of the day, it's only you and the coach when you're watching it. And at the end of the day, you have to do your job. It's 11 guys on the field, but if those 11 guys each handle their one-on-ones, then eventually it's all going to transform and come together. So for whatever reason that is, if you got to go in there and get you some extra tackling drills, eat you some Wheaties, but we got to put some rocks in our pockets, and we got to start knocking things out around here.
Damontre, I know you got some more observations for us. Let me just do a follow-up there. How much of it is scheme? or development? Because I'm watching these guys. They're not getting off the line. Like, the defensive pressure is not there. Is it the way they're attacking it? Is it the way they're being coached? Is it the guys aren't being developed? What are you seeing?
For me, once again, I'm very I don't want to be too harsh on my coaches and saying that it's them or it's the players. It's everybody as a whole. Like, one person doesn't make the ship go, but it correlates from coaching to players. For me, I would like to say that I think that it might be a little more schematic.
Is it 5 out of 7 losses to Power 5 opponents? Is that right? Last 7 games?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's probably one of those numbers you're looking at. I think what befuddles me from an outsider's perspective is we all know that there is talent there. I mean, I was just reading up last night. Maybe 6 of these guys in the D-line are going to be playing in the NFL, probably 5, maybe 6. How frustrating is that going to be when, you turn back in 3 years and go, man, this dude's an all-pro, and we couldn't get to the Miami quarterback. But going back and watching some of those plays, I thought it was more, and this is small sample size, I thought it was more about the secondary. I really did, because they have 7-man protection. Your corners have to be good enough to hold up, because quarterback's going to usually have a little bit of time. And all I saw was guys getting beat and safeties either being late or not being able to tackle when they did get there, which was that, late fourth quarter touchdown, not the last one. So I think that's concerning. And I agree with you. It could still be a great season, but at some point we have to look at what we have on the resume and start to see, well, maybe there are more holes that need to be fixed before those wins turn into wins down the road. And I got to be honest with you. And I would not pretend to know what the conversation is within the Aggie fan base, but one of the emerging storylines nationally will be, look at what Texas just did, right? And it's the comparison to what Sark accomplished on the road against Alabama, and they're back-to-back top 5 recruiting classes, and that competition and comparison will always be there. And whether that brings, I don't think, by the way, most coaches, especially guys like Jimbo Fisher, think of the word pressure from any external sources, but certainly should be felt in the fan base, right?
They're not the team they thought they were. Then you have to fly home and realize that. But you can't get in this mode to forget that that doesn't have to be the team you are.
But you started
how you handle that loss and respond to it is going to determine this season, which is I do still believe it is the defining season of Jimbo's tenure in 6 years.
So, but you started that with saying something you haven't put out yet. Did you want to finish that thought?
Yeah, you talk about that second week, and we talk about road games for A&M. How about, since I've kind of either been in college or let's talk about non-conference road games. And I'll even include Florida State in New York to open up the Big 12 championship season. Loss.
98.
At Boulder, the big one in 95, loss. And they ended up winning one later in Boulder, but that wasn't non-conference. That was Big 12, actually. Boulder, Colorado, loss. 96 BYU, loss to Steve Sark freaking Keegan at quarterback there, and Lavelle Edwards. That was a preseason top 10 team, loss. Miami, so A&M's lost 3 of 4 now to Miami when Miami has stunk. Okay, they might be better than this year, but last year they were 5-7. Who's a head coach back in the day? Randy Shannon. They went 0-2 against Randy Shannon. Fran and Sherman, 0-2 against Randy Shannon. Some of the worst Miami. That's when the downfall was really getting going for them. I do think Cristobal, if there's anyone that can pull him out of it, it could be him, just with the recruiting and just the kind of mentality that he's going to instill in them. I was impressed with Miami, how hard they played, and they were physical. If they could, I just don't know if they can do that every week. If they can, they'll be a pretty good team. I just don't know if they can make that big a leap.
Jared, tell the people.
You got to like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you don't miss any TexAgs content.
Thank you very much. We'll see you mañana. Goodbye.